of this since we've had 2 failed attempts at getting this Kickstarter preview video recorded, but hopefully it's going to work this time. We've tweaked some of the settings. If you've been following Kickstarter, January's already been a pretty crazy month. There have been a lot of great projects already funded and a lot of game projects among them. So it's really nice to see the diversity of things that are coming out. We have picked another 4 strategy games out of the mix, which we really like, and we're going to chat a little bit about each of them as we go through today. And we have a bonus that comes at the end as well, so hang around for that. The first game we're going to actually check out is called Foundations of Rome. This is already massively funded, so this has been on Kickstarter for a little bit. There's 12 days to go, and they're already at nearly $500,000 in funding. It looks really impressive. You play a citizen who has basically buildings to deploy within the city. So it's an economic game. You buy land plots within the city that need to combine in a way that will fit your buildings into them. And those buildings then create different types of scoring over time and accelerate your ability to do certain things. So this really looks like a mix of a miniatures game. The buildings look really, really detailed and amazing, together with something that's kind of similar to Seven Wonders, which is a game that we love, that basically puts together some of these different layers of strategies for scoring and interweaves them amongst the players. So looks really exciting. Looks like a pretty seriously large box. If you look, that's the core box of the game. It has some nice features in the box as well, so you can store those buildings in ways. There are various expansions. So this looks a pretty exciting major game. It's not cheap. I think $99 is the starting price for a pledge, so it's pretty significant. But you're going to get a lot of hardware for your money. This looks like the kind of thing that will really kind of create an atmosphere when you're playing the game. So fun one. Take a look at that, and you have 12 days to get on board the train if you want to do that. And speaking of trains, the second one we're going to talk about is called Pacific Rails Inc. In this game, you're trying to build a railroad across the United States, and so is everybody else. Each of you is trying to bridge various parts of the map. You're trying to build those rails and get your train closer to the other coast. You're also building up various types of capabilities as you go. So there's a nice mix of history and economics in here, and a little bit of engine building that goes into it. So this is a kind of a nice combination where you've got some competition going on, but you're also just trying to build up your own ability to finish the job. And take a look at the Kickstarter page. There's some pretty cool stuff on there. I think especially the miniatures, it might actually be quite fun to paint those and really make it completely a game which is integrated in terms of all of its look and feel. So moving on, the third game is a game that it's only just been funded, so that's probably a couple of days ago. This is called Jurassic Parts, and it uses hexes to make up a random board, which we love because that's what we do in Metropia as well. So each of these hexagons has various types of dinosaur bones on them or other obstacles, and they make up a map. And so the game dynamic really works by you putting chisels onto parts of the map that help break it apart. And when you and some other players break off a part of the map, you get to share those tiles. And those tiles basically are what you then use to construct dinosaurs of more and more large scale that gives you the scoring. So it's kind of a nice dynamic because what you're doing is you're collaborating to separate parts of the board, but then you're also then trying to meet your own goals in terms of getting the right pieces of matching dinosaur bones together. So this one's a little bit more modest as well. It's actually $30, I think, for the core game. So it's kind of nice to look at this if you're getting a bit freaked out by these very, very expensive, heavily laden games that are kind of hitting the headlines at the moment. The last game we're going to look at is called The Great Alcatraz Escape. This is based on San Francisco Bay's famous prison with on the Rock. It's a detailed strategy game, so you have a lot of different places you can move. There are quite a number of scenarios and actions that both the wardens and the prisoners can take as they escape. So it looks like a lot of different things that can happen during the game. What really caught our attention about this is it really looks quite similar to the game Escape from Colditz, which was probably late 80s, early 90s, which I remember playing fondly many, many times, which had a similar dynamic and actually a somewhat similar look and feel. This actually looks more detailed, so it looks like there are many more places you can move, more different types of things you can do. So it almost feels like an updated version of that, and I'm sure there's some nice additional dynamics. So this is well worth checking out. It's still a little way from its goal, so take a look. Maybe your dollars will actually help this get over the line. And great. So take a look at these 4 games. Definitely worth your time to spend a little bit of time digging through the Kickstarter projects and see if there's one that you might like. And I promised that there would be a last little additional item. So we wouldn't normally cover this, but it was kind of cool. So we felt like it was a worthwhile addition. If you play Dungeons and Dragons, then you'll know that you often have a Dungeon Master screen which hides your information that you're using to run the game for the other players. This is really a fantastically designed wooden screen. They're only going to make 100, so this is part of the Kickstarter Make 100 program that's running at the moment. It's got a lot of different accessories that go with it. It's it's definitely the most impressive Dungeon Master screen that we've ever seen. So check out what Dogmite Games have done here, and see if you might want to grab one of these 100 unique items. And that's it for today. Thank you very much. Wishing you a good weekend, and we'll be back soon with some more videos of the same type.